The gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Colorado, Mr. Tipton, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Grosh, what is the policy of the United States when it comes to ransom for putting out payment for hostages?
Congressman, my understanding as stated by the President that it is the United States government's policy not to pay ransom.
We don't pay ransom. Mr. Bachmeyer, you'd made the comment that there was a desire to be able to conclude all of our lines of effort when the payments were made of ultimately $1.7 billion, cash sitting on pallets going in the middle of the night to Iran. Were the hostages part of that line of efforts that you're talking about?
Congressman, as I described, there were multiple lines of effort. There was the implementation of the nuclear deal that we were
was there a tie between the cash and the hostage release?
There was not a tie between the cash and the hostage release.
How does that go back to your comment that it was all of the lines being tied together to be able to achieve the end?
I don't believe I said the lines tied together, sir. I believe what I was trying to convey was that we thought we had a unique opportunity and diplomatic momentum where we could achieve multiple U.S. objectives, including implementing a nuclear deal that extended Iran's breakout timeline from less than 90 days to over a year, including bringing home American citizens that had been unjustly detained and arrested on bogus and trumped-up charges.
So there was a tie.
And settling a long-time outstanding claim that we would have paid one way or another. So this was not a question with respect to the Hague Claim Tribunal or Hague Tribunal claim of whether to pay $1.7 billion or zero. It was a question of whether to pay $1.7 billion or much more.
There was a tie with no connection. But I would like to be able to get into the terrorism end of this. In terms of the agreements that were put forward, Ms. Grosh, during the negotiations for the settlement purposes of the agreement with Iran and payments, did anyone in the administration ever bring up the issue, could these funds be used for terrorism? Was that raised as a concern?
Again, my expertise in all of this is very narrow. It really is to litigating claims, assessing litigation risk, and in any of these settlements, whether it's this one or the ones that we've entered into prior, to give advice about what's a good settlement for the United States government.
Can you maybe answer that? Were any concerns raised by the administration?
Congressman, I said we have multiple concerns with the Iranian government and multiple concerns with their activities.
What overrode those concerns?
Congressman, as I've noted, we have tried to take step by step on multiple lines of effort, areas where we think we can advance U.S. interests. We do so in a concerted and thoughtful way, and we have done that with respect to the most immediate threat, which is the Iranian nuclear program. We have done that with respect to one of our top priorities of bringing home our American citizens, and with respect to this claim, we did so in a way that saved taxpayer dollars. We are obviously concerned about any
You're talking about saving the taxpayer dollars. You know, if we look at National Security Advisor Susan Rice, she admitted that some of the Iranian money could be used for terrorism. Is that a concern that you took into consideration?
We are constantly concerned with what Iran might do with respect to its support for terrorism, and we have a variety of tools that we use to counter that. That includes robust sanctions that were passed in this very House. That includes designations of individual entities like the IRGC, the Quds Force, other entities in Iran that support terrorism. We have a robust intelligence effort.
I'd like to, Mr. Bachmeyer, maybe you could give me a little bit of clarity on this. The $1.7 billion settlement where you sent over cash in the middle of the night on pallets to Iran that went into their possession. You've said that the majority of this has gone to infrastructure programs, so we're left assuming that they're filling potholes over there. Since you were able to track that money, what happened to the rest of it? Did a little bit of it go to terrorism funding? You were able to track the infrastructure program.
Sir, what I'm speaking to is our assessment of the vast majority of funds that Iran has gotten access to with respect to the multiple lines of effort that we have. I cannot get into specific details about where any of those are going, as I can speak in a general matter, but it does not change the fact that we have serious concerns about what Iran does do with its money, and we have
talking about in a general matter, it's going to infrastructure. Where'd the other money go to?
Congressman, I don't think I said infrastructure. I believe I
think you did. You said infrastructure programs.
I believe, if I did, what I recall saying was it was going to domestic economic needs, but I have made the point again and again that we have concerns about where Iran does send its money and its support, and we have a variety of tools that are in place in order to try to counter that. That is an ongoing effort of our government.
Did they give you any guarantees that the money wouldn't be used for terrorism?
I'm not aware of any guarantees, but the way we approach this is from what the U.S. government can do with respect to our intelligence capabilities, with respect to our operational capabilities, and with respect to our diplomatic capabilities to try to track and deter those sorts of activities. We have a vigorous effort to both deter and disrupt shipments to Hezbollah, other proxies in the region. That is an active effort that is ongoing. We have active efforts with respect to our sanctions, which is intended to degrade the potential for those actors. And we have, as you know, ultimately other diplomatic lines of effort where we are trying to resolve other issues of concern and other threats to the United States.
The gentleman's time has expired. The chair